Hi, welcome to the Chad Bozarth Show. Thanks for listening.
Todd,
What up, Drippy?
so we've had a little bit of technical difficulty leading up to this. You know what it reminded me of? And I'll try to edit it out, but there's some rustling in your hills or something.
I mean, I'm as country as you can get. I just got done using my macerator
What is that?
that cleans out the black tank in the RV.
What's a black tank?
Well, you have gray tank, which is like your toothbrush and your shower, and you got black tank, which is your Scooby Doo. And I got to clean that out once a week, and I've got a special machine that pumps it out. It's country, boy. It's country. Ain't no Dallas.
Hey, you
Hey,
know
listen, I
what?
feel a lot of pressure because cousin Darren did so good, and even though we sound the same, kind of, that was such a good podcast. I feel a little pressure.
Hey, I've been waiting my whole life to interview you.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't want it to get out of hand. I think we should just start right out of the gate and we either talk about Calvinism, Bigfoot, or the moon landing.
Well,
No, but really,
I was gonna say, let's stay away from politics, religion, and my first wife, and we'll be straight.
that's what I was gonna tell you. I hate editing, and this is for public consumption. So, you know,
Well,
hey,
we'll just keep it PG, but 1980s PG.
oh, hey, that is a true statement. There
Yeah,
is. I'm gonna ask
1980s
you about
PG
the.
is way different than this PG.
I was gonna ask you about that, but you know, our technical difficulties when we started, it reminded me of the Freetel days. Do you remember Freetel?
Yes, I remember Freetail.
And we would call each other over the computer, but it sounded like we were both in the jungle.
Yeah, but we didn't care. It was horrible. It was worse than regular landline, but it was on the
So
computer, so we thought it was cool.
so I want to ask you. We talk
Oh man.
maybe what? I don't know if anybody's gonna listen to this whole episode.
Well, I mean, at least 30. You getting 30 a pop, so
I have I have
this is what
dozens
hey,
listening.
this is what we've been doing for 2 decades is
Hey,
talking about nothing.
I have dozens. I have dozens people listening. Okay, no, for real. We probably talk 3 times a day on the phone. I
Yeah.
feel like that's unique because you are 11 years older than me,
Hmm.
and we talk, like I said, at least 3 times uh, a day
Why?
on the phone.
Why do we do that?
That's what I'm wondering. And then mom
Well,
asked me, what did y'all talk about? And I really couldn't tell her.
yeah, we've been doing that for a while, and what I always tell people is we haven't been having multiple conversations. It's the same conversation for the last 20 years.
Hmm. You said it bugs you when I do that, right?
It doesn't bug me. It doesn't bug me personally. I just think you
Um,
shouldn't do it.
I was talking to I appreciate Kyle, you know, our my friend
Yeah.
Kyle. I was talking to him the other day and he was really encouraging me about the podcast. He's like, "Yeah, I really like these 2 episodes, but this one episode I didn't really like. I but I gave you a little bit of a listen, so at least it's in your uh anyway.
I think your podcast is as good as anything I've heard.
Oh man, I appreciate the encouragement.
I mean, even the best ones, there are certain things, you just go through windows of time where you listen to somebody for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks and then you give it a break.
Well, I love all the episodes. They're all like my little babies that
Yes.
I've
You've
set
done
out into
good.
the world. Thanks,
I
man.
like what you said when you said um, the only thing to do is just do it.
Mm.
Sometimes we have OCD and we overplan things in our heads because I think we're both kind of wired the same way. We're both kind of visionaries, and to hell with the details. Somebody else will take care of the details. But I like what you said. You just said, I'm just going to start. I'm just going to do it, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. I like that.
I appreciate that. It's weird because you and I are similar in a lot of ways, but then we are very different in some significant ways. Like for example, I live in a townhouse and have very low maintenance living, and you like to have animals and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now we're living in an RV.
But like the thing you were
Nose,
talking
nose to
about the
nose. Go ahead.
huh? No, go ahead. Well, like the thing you were talking about, gray tank or black tank, it's like my father-in-law's a car guy, which makes me feel a little uncomfortable because like I can barely put gas in my car. Like that's about
Yeah.
the extent of my knowledge. So why
I'm
do
not really
you?
a car guy.
No, but you know how to do things like
I mean,
manly type
so
things. How come you know how to do that kind of thing?
well,
I don't have the first. No, but like hitching all the
yeah, but
stuff that you do.
So
How do you know how to do
yeah.
that?
No, listen, YouTube. Here, you got to compare apples to apples though, because if I was in your circle of people that don't know how to do anything, I look like master mechanic. But around guys that actually know how to do stuff, I look like you versus me. I mean, compared to real guys that know how to rebuild an engine or build something, I'm not. I'm not that guy. I mean, I can do certain things, but no, I'm not that guy. I'm glad you think I'm that guy, but I'm really not that guy.
Well, okay. Um, you started 12th grade when I started first grade, I think. Um,
Well, there's 11 years. Yeah, I mean, that sounds right.
so that's I wanted to ask you about growing up in Hilton Head because I know probably a lot of people have heard of Hilton Head. I'm originally from Hilton Head, South Carolina, and I know Hilton Head has changed a lot over the years. But what was it like growing up in Hilton Head in the 80s? When did y'all move to Hilton Head?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact year. I think it was. I would have been in my starting my sixth grade year. So I graduated high school in '91. So I don't know, what is that, 86, 87. We come to Hilton Head. It was just Highway
Well, no, because I
270.
was born in 84. I was born in 84, so it would have been at
So
least
83,
84.
84. Okay, 84. I'm bad with dates. But it was Highway 278, just two lanes running right onto the island. But an interesting story. The bridge that runs, I think I told you this the other day, the bridge that runs from Bluffton to Hilton Head is called the James Wilton Graves Bridge. And I went to school with his grandson, Wilton. And the very first fried oyster that was ever served to me was by the namesake of the bridge, which I
Hmm.
think is kind of cool. And I grew up with, with Wilton Graves and some other guys there on the island. I have nothing but good memories. We were on the beach. Always had a job. I mean, I don't think I knew how well I had it. I mean, you never do when you're a kid. But as I look back, I really had an easy, good childhood on the island, the retirement community of Hilton Head Island.
Like how has it changed over the years? I mean,
I
obviously it's
don't.
gotten bigger. How or when
I
was the
think it's
last time
just.
you were there? It's been a while, right?
It's been a year. Um, Honestly, I don't spend enough time there to really delineate the changes, other than it's more popular. Um, it's more well known, and other than that, I mean, it's an island, so I don't think the population has necessarily gone that much higher. Although I might be wrong. I think when I was there, well, when we were there, I think the permanent population was like 30,000. And then I think in the summertime, when the tourists came, I think the population jumped to 150 to 200,000, believe it or not. Um, but it's still a retirement community on the beach with a lot of golf courses.
But you were friends with like the 80s were that's when it was really starting to really get developed, right?
I mean, I think that would be the middle of its heyday for sure. I mean, sea pines had already been developed. We lived in Shipyard Plantation. You probably remember that.
Oh yeah.
And there was Palmetto Dunes, Port Royal, Hilton Head Plantation, and then off of the island you had Rose Hill and Moss Creek. Um,
I'm
but
always intrigued by people like obviously we were there, dad was pastor of the church, but how like the friends that you grew up with, how did why were they on Hilton Head Island? Like it seems kind of like an interesting place to end up. Was there
yeah, I
any
don't know. I
common
mean,
theme?
The South is, there's multi generational history and people try to go to the same schools and like Sea Pines Academy and May River Academy, Hilton Head Christian Academy. There was generation after generation that went to those schools, and then Sea Pines Academy and May River, they were rival schools, and then they got combined to become Hilton Head Prep.
Hmm.
Did you know that?
I don't think I knew.
So that
'Cause
happened.
so we left, I went through second grade there at Hilton Head Christian Academy, and then I started third grade out here. So I didn't know a lot of those details.
Yeah, you were younger. You were younger. And I didn't, all I knew is all the Southern moms could cook, and my mom couldn't.
So if mom is
But
listening to
mom, but
this,
mom, but mom would admit that she wasn't really cooking. But I will say this: the two or three things that mom did that she enjoyed doing were actually really, really good.
that's the thing.
Her two,
Mom is a mom is a good cook, but she's not a
hey,
prolific cook.
hey, Dad, I never forget. I was walking downstairs one time. Dad was in his whitey tighties and socks, and he was at the oven with a fry pan frying bologna. I listen. That's not a visual you can really get out of your head. Um, I don't know where that came from. It just made me think of. Yeah, the stuff mom cooked, she did well actually. Dad, who knows?
Dad used to mow the pine straw. You know, I was telling somebody just the other day that I knew dad. I was telling somebody just the other day that I knew dad loved me. He would, die for me. He was at every basketball game, baseball
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
everything. Like, but if his life depended on it, if you asked him what grade I was in, I don't
Mhm.
know that he would know.
Yeah, he was unique. Dad could never step out. We both grew up as. Are you still there?
No,
I,
I was about to make fun of you.
I'm using Elon Musk's. I always want to call it OnStar. It's not OnStar. What's it called? OnStar was the old satellite in the.
Yeah,
What's
that's
his thing called?
Starlink.
Starlink.
No, but
Yeah,
it's
it's been
funny that
good.
you yeah, no, it's funny that you say that because I realize as I get older, I don't know the names of movies anymore.
Oh,
I have to
geez, I'm
just
horrible with it.
I just have
What
to
what were we talking about? Oh, Dad. We're talking about
oh
Dad.
no, I was saying that, I never questioned Dad's love for me. And he was at every game and he was very present and involved, but on any given day if you asked him what grade I was in, I'm
Yeah.
not sure that he would have even known.
Well, like I've always said, Dad was the smartest man that I knew that probably couldn't do long division. But he could sit in a meeting with high level businessmen and thinkers and direct them in a very unique way. Dad had some very unique. I mean, Mom's just good at everything. I mean, as far as speaking and handling people, but Mom is smart. Mom was smarter than Dad, but Dad could still pull it off. To this day, I'm not quite sure how he did that, but
Well, that's one thing I was going to tell you is we had to pace ourselves with this because, I typically interview my friends, but I only have so many friends, so who knows how many.
you only ever have two really good friends, in
Ah,
my opinion. I
mm.
mean, you have a lot of acquaintances that you call friends. If you really think about it, who could you call at 2 o'clock in the morning to come do XYZ? maybe 3, maybe 2 at most.
Hmm.
I don't know. It might be different in your circle. But I mean, I
Well,
have 2 or 3 really good friends, and I have a bunch of acquaintances that I like. There's really nobody in my circle of friends that I don't like. There's just people I prefer, and it takes a lot for me not to like somebody. Um, but you have to be low maintenance. Like I don't want to have to worry about what I say. I don't want to have to stroke your ego. If you're not low maintenance and you can't just be hanging out, I don't have a lot of time for that. And I try to be the same way. I'm, I think I'm low maintenance. I might not be. I don't know.
it's an interesting thing because I have certain like best friends that I would feel comfortable sharing like anything with. But then you said the 2 o'clock in the morning thing. I feel like there's definitely some guys from church that maybe I haven't known very long and we haven't put in time together, but I feel like if I
That's
texted
true.
them at 2 in the morning, I think they would be over here.
Yeah, I
Even in
could probably
spite
say
of
the
not
same
having
thing.
even in spite of not having that history.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think
So
that's because you walk in. Um, I don't know. That may have something to do with just being a Bozarth in Dallas. You have some gravitas that I don't have. The Bozarth name means nothing in Charleston, but you got the
no, no,
CF and
I
I
don't think.
connection. You don't
No,
think so?
I'm talking about like people from church.
I got you.
Um, they're just like generous like that. Do you
Yeah.
think you still hold the basketball scoring record at Hilton Head Christian Academy?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, because you started play. So is that even? Did you start playing varsity basketball when you were in seventh grade?
So technically, I don't want to exaggerate, and it was such a small league, so it's not really a fair analysis. But I think the very first varsity basketball game I played, I was technically in 6th grade, and that was with Coach Mark Mansell. Loved Coach Mark Mansell, and then
Did you guys? You
he,
guys had to wear sweatpants, right?
yeah, we were a part. Like I said, when you're a kid, you just don't. When you're a kid growing up as a pastor's kid in the Christian circles, you're used to hypersensitivity about body parts, and evidently, the white legs of a 7th grade boy were off limits to the to the to the league. Yeah, we had to wear sweatpants. Believe it or not, it's crazy. But that was the only league that was available to us as a small Christian school. But then Coach Phil Horton did such a good job at, I think, helping lead us into a more regular type basketball environment. I think that only lasted 1 year. But those are good memories.
I regret. I think most of the time, during your basketball games, I was like playing underneath the bleachers. So I regret not watching
Yeah,
you. I think it's interesting that, Dad was so good at sports. You were so good at sports, and
I was so good at basketball. You were a better
yeah,
baseball player than I was. I was never a
well,
good baseball
yeah.
player.
I was a good
And
baseball player till like age 10.
yeah, yeah, I had one sport, and then I went to the Dean Smith Blue Chip basketball camp my sophomore year.
So
You
tell
had
me
to be
about that.
you had to be invited, and I realized
How did
as
you get
good as
invited?
I don't. I think Coach Phil Horton maybe made a recommendation or something. I'm not sure how that played out. And when I went there, I realized because I was playing against national athletes that played for
Mm,
4 or 5A schools, public schools, and I realized as high as I could jump, everybody else could jump that higher, higher.
mm.
As quick as I was, they were as quick as me or quicker. As strong as I was, they were as strong as me or stronger. And I realized that on a national level, that I wasn't embarrassed to play, but there was nothing exceptional. And I was used to being the big fish in the little pond. I was used to the newspapers writing about me. I was used to the opposing school girlfriends coming up and asking for my picture. I remember older fans coming out of the audience after the game and handing me $20 saying that was the best basketball they ever saw. But I was playing against a caliber of player that didn't match up to the So it was humbling, and I think I let it. I think I kind of regret it in that I think instead of using that as kind of a fire to say, "Hey, I'm going to get better," I was disappointed and I kind of folded, and I regret that I didn't
Hmm.
try. But I had been playing basketball for so long, so I was kind of done with it anyway. But I wished I. That's one regret. I wished I had, tried to get better and play on a. I couldn't have played Division 1 for heaven's sakes, but I could have played maybe Division 2 or something like that. I wished I had tried, but
What grade were you when you went to that basketball camp?
if I remember correctly, I think it was my sophomore year. My 10th grade year. I'm pretty sure it might have been my junior year, but I think it was my sophomore year. But see,
No, but you
Dad,
know what?
like Dad, when he played baseball, he played for a big public high school. Um,
Well, I just saw the other day there was some American Legion game on, and that rang a bell because I know Dad. I'm pretty sure he pitched a perfect game
he did,
in an American Legion game,
yeah, he
which
did.
that's. But your
That's
story
in
at
the newspapers. That's in the Bloomington or Atlanta. I forget what town. What town was that? Would that have been in Bloomington?
Bloomington, yeah, but I don't know where the American Legion
I don't
game
know.
would have been. No, but it's interesting that you say that because you were in high school when that happened to you. But I have to confess, I really had a similar experience because I know it's Little League and it almost sounds funny to say, but I had so much success pitching, playing Little League. Dad really taught me well. And I was really good Little League baseball player. Like I was throwing a curveball when no one else was really throwing a curveball a lot. I mean, I'm sure other people were, but
Yeah,
I was very good, playing in all-star games and stuff like that. And then everybody else got bigger and I didn't.
mm,
And so there was a season there where I was, one of the best players on any given team. I was
yeah.
an all-star, and then everybody got bigger and I didn't get bigger. And then that's kind of when, I mean, I still played in high school and stuff, but that's when I lost interest.
Yeah,
When I realized I wasn't special.
right. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty normal. Like if you start to succeed in a certain thing, it motivates you because you get noticed, which is normal. It's ego, but it's normal. Yeah, no, I think that's a common story for sure, for sure.
Your daughters are all very successful.
Yeah, I've got three great girls that make me look amazing, although most of it's just their own hard work and God. But yeah,
Hmm.
they're all different, you know, but they're all the same. I think the one thing they have in common is they all for good and for bad have kind of some a will to not fail, and they have some OCD that's kind of wrapped that package up. And as long as you manage that perfectionism, it can be an asset. I think if you let it control you, it can be a hindrance. But yeah, and then they all have different, Brooke is Brooke and Abby's Abby and Reagan's Reagan. I mean, they all have different little personality quirks too. But I love family. I love big family. I love that our family. I love the Reinekes and the Bozarths. I love that there's common history that comes out of Illinois. I love that we all have kind of the same sense of humor, that we're funny, that we poke at each other, we poke at other people. We're all very verbal. Um, we're all believers, and for the most part, we're all on the same page politically, and that's kind of fun.
Hmm. I'm going back to yeah, I agree. It is fun. I'm thankful for our family. Um yeah, it is interesting kind of the how our family has all kind of ended up in similar places from similar. Yeah, it is interesting. And we're so close with extended family too. That's interesting. Why do you think that is? Why
What do you mean? Like
Not
what
no,
extended
well,
family?
not that like we're not some perfect family by any means, but it's like we have good relationships with like second cousins or like,
Oh yeah,
I don't even know what technically they are. I know they're cousins or
yeah.
dad's cousins or why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think the first generation that knew each other were so close, and that we visited the farm out in Illinois, or grandma and grandpa in Bloomington, um, or the the Reinekes down in Florida. That first generation that knew each other kind of set the stage for us to all hang out and know each other also, which I'm thankful for. Like I said, I mean, I know a lot of people that don't have family. It's hard to relate because we have so much family that we could lean on. Somebody may have a aunt or a uncle, um, but we have multiple aunts and multiple uncles, and it's just fun. We have a fun family. I mean, I've been around other families that are fun too. I'm just saying, I'm thankful for our family, especially as I get older. You get more, you reminisce, and you get more thoughtful about people, and everybody's getting older and what's going to happen, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm super thankful for our family, all of our family.
Yeah, I am too. Hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. Like growing up, certain things are just normal. Like I remember here in Duncanville, we had so many uncles and aunts and cousins around. It was just so normal for people to stop by and just
Yeah,
drop by all of the time. And it was like, I know it was almost like we were just always together in some way. And then now it seems like to get together with people, there's all of this like planning and scheduling that
yeah.
has to happen. It's very hard to just casually, like on the
Well,
spur of the moment
think
get
think
together.
think about it. Like, back in the day, you could actually just come to somebody's front door and knock and be there unannounced. That doesn't happen anymore. I,
I
I mean,
remember
if
neighbors coming over to my house
yeah, I mean, if you don't hit
and
somebody with a text message or a precursor to, hey, I'm on my way. I mean, nobody did. I don't remember the last time somebody came to my front door. Well, I just don't. Not
I think we
without
should
a.
start doing that. Just start going over to friends' houses unannounced and see what happens.
I don't
But
think it
that,
would go well.
yeah, but okay. I wonder why that is though. When did that
I don't know.
happen?
Well, it happened. I think it happened just technology. It's easier to text or call than it used. I mean, you used to have to be standing by a certain wall in your room to make a phone call. Now it's in your pocket. So I don't know. I'm sure there's all kinds of explanations for it. What else you want to talk about?
Well, we have a lot. One other thing,
How many? Hold on. How many minutes are we into this?
I don't know. I
You don't have
didn't
a
keep
little clock
track.
going?
Well, I didn't keep
I
track.
I can't believe Zoom doesn't have a.
Well, we probably should wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah, let's
But
wrap it up. We can do a
uh,
part two because we haven't talked about nothing yet.
no, well,
I mean, we've got a lot of things. Our family loves conspiracy theories. There's a lot.
well, no, I enjoyed this.
Well, we can do part two.
Yeah. Let's end it there.
Yeah,
Um, are you trying to wrap this up?
yeah. Because I feel like we're like at 30 minutes, and if I'm getting bored, the listeners are going to be bored. So
Ah, hey, well, let's do this again.
hasn't it been like 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think so.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Or it might even been longer. We had technical difficulties, so
Well, that's true. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. We'll do a part
yeah.
two and actually get into some stuff because
All right.
we gotta change this podcast up a little. It's a little bit topical. We gotta start.
Is it topical? I'm just
It's a little.
asking people.
It's a little topical.
What do you mean? I'm asking people about their life experiences. It's
Yeah,
what do you mean it's topical? Like, here's the thing. I love talking about conspiracies, but everybody else talks about conspiracies. So like,
I know.
I want this to be a relaxing.
No, maybe what? So So maybe what we talked about was kind of
I
topical.
want people to be encouraged when they listen to an episode after this, not discouraged.
I want people to laugh. I don't care if they're encouraged or discouraged. I like to make people laugh. Maybe we did a little bit. So I know you're going to say, what? Do you have any last words of encouragement for people?
No,
Right?
I kind of stopped asking that. But do
Oh,
you
I
have any
like
last?
that.
You do? Okay. Well, wrap
I don't
us up
have
with
any.
your
I
words
don't
of
have any.
encouragement.
I don't have any last. I don't do 3-word stuff.
No, well, so another way that you're way different than me is, um, you're so much like physically, you're just so much more.
I was going to say
You
we
know,
don't look alike.
hey, you told me one time I think that I'm the worst storyteller that you've ever heard. There's some
Well,
truth there.
no, but you're really good at this. You're good at the podcast, I think.
Hey, thanks.
But your
Yeah, we
stories,
don't look anything alike.
nothing.
I went ahead and picked out a picture of you.
I'm 5'10", 220 pounds, and never in
Yeah.
my life would I ever be diagnosed with malnutrition.
You know, that's a true story, and we could get into that another
Yeah,
time.
that's part 2.
But is that really a... Yeah, they did tell me one time I was malnourished, but is that really like a
Not they. Your doctor. There's no they. Your medical doctor said, based on your height and weight and your blood work, you evidently don't eat enough food.
Okay, here's the thing. First of all, that's a long story. We'll talk about it again later. But those blood tests, they're always changing. They're
Yeah,
always changing the
those
ranges on those
doctors.
things.
Yeah,
No, it's not the doctors, but they'll
yeah,
change the range in
that's
5 years.
true. That's true.
No, but it is interesting. We don't look anything alike. You remember
Nothing.
that time? I think I was trying to dispute something. I don't know. I was dealing with a customer service agent, and we did a three-way call, and you and I went back and forth talking to the agent, but we just pretended to be like
Oh yeah,
the same person.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
thanks for talking.
I've had fun.
Hey, well, I've been trying to get you to do
I
this.
want to do those shorts that you're talking about because we have some funny conversations in the car. Let's do
Yeah. Well, yeah, we might have to do that too. I try for this to be kind of I try not to do too much editing. I don't have
that. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have to edit this.
time for... No, not this. I mean, the other thing you're talking about.
Uh,
Anyway, you know what?
Put this up raw. This is so like this is like I almost feel guilty. Like we talk about so many cool things, like just me and you, but I feel like we haven't been fully honest with this podcast.
No, we are.
Yeah,
It takes
I mean, we're being
time.
honest. We're not lying, but let's just do a round 2, and we'll have a couple of deep dives into some stuff.
No, we can have many rounds, and
But see, I have no. Listen, it's easy for me because I'm just a country boy on Jones
hey, we need
Island.
to wrap
You're
this
working
up.
you're working on your doctorate in theology, and
I'm not working on a doctorate in theology.
Whatever.
That's
Whatever
way too much work.
All right, let's wrap this up. How do we do
All
this?
right, thanks for talking. Bye.
You don't want any words of encouragement?
Oh, I do. Please, if anybody's still listening,
I don't have
please
any.
wap us up with a word of encouragement.
I'll do it our second round. I don't have any.
Okay.
Just laugh.
Thanks for doing this.
Laugh. All right, bye.
Bye.